and it comes in and out.
It's on the inside,
Mm.
which they call golfer's tendonitis.
Yes, my dad has that.
Not tennis.
Oh, never mind. Oh, he has tennis.
Golfer's elbow is on this side, tennis elbow is on that side.
Do you golf?
No.
Yeah.
It feels better. I mean, like I go kayaking and it's sore at the waist.
Mm.
But lately it's just been all the time, so I put ice on it.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, even with the weather changes, like when it goes from cold to hot, I have a shoulder thing, I have low back stuff that, like, I haven't done anything. It just,
Shows up.
yeah, which is just a fun treat.
I just think it's just about getting old.
Mm-hmm.
Family thing. I'm good.
Yeah? Yes, I'll take it. Oh. You know you're registered now? And do you see what your secret is? Look next. You know your secret. But look at the star and your name.
First with fun.
No.
Special.
The middle. But it's your first time here, officially. Hi. Hi, hi. Hi. Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Have you been walking here?
Like,
Yeah. Hi. We'll have you over here. Actually, you know what? You should be fine over there. We'll have you come sit right in front of the blankets, but before, maybe we'll like just have you loiter over here for a second while people grab all the props. Hi, Shreya. And then we can have you sit in front of there. Yay. How are you? Is this your first observation?
I'm observed.
Nice. Okay. Let me move this plant, and then nothing is tickling you. Nice. How did it feel? Yeah?
Just trying to write down a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I need to practice a lot the words.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. No, it was good.
But like a totally different vantage point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like, oh, she truly is talking.
Yeah.
Which is like I knew, but I didn't totally realize until sitting here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know, it's just nonstop chatter up here.
Yeah, but like in such a great way.
Well, the thing about it is that you, as me as student, you like tune in and out
Yeah.
what the teacher's saying, or you like pick up on the cues that you need to get to the pose. But it's just like a nonstop typewriter of words coming up.
So practice.
Yeah.
Practice.
It's all good. All the systems are in place for success. Yes.
I know it's like weird that we only have a few weekends left.
I know.
So
I know. But we don't, it's always here. Yeah. just last class, Amelia taught, and Nicole, who was in training with her, came. So like the circles are still circling around, which is great. Okay. We'll start in a little bit, y'all. Take your time, get comfortable. Hi. And we'll use all of the props this evening that I can bring over to you too. We'll use some therapy balls that are in the white basket, a strap, 2 blocks. And we'll be doing a few things with the knees down on the floor. So if you'd like a blanket for any extra padding, please feel free to find one. And then anything else? Let's see. Yesterday when I was teaching, the audio for this kept going off randomly in the corner and I would scare myself. So I'm like triple checking that everything is closed and turned off. Oh yay, everyone's here. I think if you want, you can definitely sit here, but if you want to sit there for more comfort, you can definitely go there. I think almost everyone's up here. Yeah. Hi, how was Minneapolis? Nope, the other one, Milwaukee.
They're close.
Yeah. M.
Midwest.
See, it keeps doing that. Yeah. It keeps randomly unmuting and then talking like the ghost of myself because it's 7 seconds behind. I know, it did it all day yesterday, but hopefully. Yeah. Hi, Molly. How's it going? Good to see you. All right, y'all, we'll get started. I think everyone's here, and they might trickle in as we start to get moving about, but it's good to be with you all. A couple of weeks ago, I shared in the beginning of class, there was that not viral, maybe it was just viral to me because it was just getting posted over and over again, but the different seasons of Philadelphia weather, and it was like the fake spring, the real spring, and now the pollinating, which I joked about a couple of weeks ago, but now actively in it. So with that in mind, I direct you if you need them. There's tissue boxes up here. There's some around the corner. We'll be doing some pranayama and some breath work to get some things moving around, but it's working. Spring is working in all of her forms. For those of us that haven't met, there's a few new faces to me, or maybe it's been some time and I didn't officially get to say hi. My name is Anisha. Thank you for being here. And we have Sarah with us today. So we're in the part of our teacher training where you'll start to see a few folks observing in the front of the studio. And just as I like to always say, I am in the hot seat for when the observations are taking place. Sarah's taking notes just to see if everything if I'm saying is making sense to you all. Hopefully it does. And then writing down things that I suggest and say. But Sarah and a few other folks, Anais is here, will be graduating the training in a few weeks, and I'll announce this the closer we get to it, but as a part of training, they will have co-created and will be co-teaching a 75-minute class that's open to the public, and it's all donation-based, and there'll be a class on Friday, a few on Saturday, and on Sunday, so you can say hi or let Sarah blend into the blankets in the back, but the new round of teachers that you might see will be fun to get familiar with. So that's the Sarah spiel and the people in the front spiel. All right, today we are in week 3 of the chakra series. So some of us have been together for the first few. This might be your first, this might be your only, but if you're popping in and out of them, you haven't missed anything. You get to choose which chakra and which series you enjoy the most and come back to take the class. But a quick review is that chakras themselves are, in Sanskrit, the word chakra translates to a wheel or a spinning disc of energy. They are a subtle aspect of our body. So it's not necessarily, I always say this, but it's not like I can look at you with my eyes and say, oh, your 3rd chakra is glowing, or I don't see your 7th chakra at all. They're something about yourself that the more you learn about them, the more you understand different aspects of your being. And so as a reminder, we've worked our way up from 1 and 2. Today we come to number 3. But these wheels of energy, they exist all along the base of the spine, the length of the spine. They start at the base and slowly work their way up to the crown. And a few weeks ago, we started at number 1, at the base of the spine, the root chakra, the color of red, the element of earth, asking yourself the question, do I have everything that I need to exist in my earthly body? Meaning, have I drank enough water? Have I eaten enough food for what I'm about to do? Have I slept enough to nourish myself, to take on the tasks that I'm looking to move towards? Last week, we worked on the second chakra in the hips, Swadhisthana chakra, asking yourself the question, what are my pleasures? What are my desires? What brings me sweetness in my own life? And we did a weird amount of hip openers. And now today, we come up to number 3, the third chakra in the solar plexus. In Sanskrit, it's called Manipura chakra. In English, that translates to a lustrous gem. That's what the literal English translation for Manipura means. And the imagery I like to think of is if you hold a crystal or something shiny up in the light, and while it's a solid object, the light shines through and creates this prism and fractal of energy. That's the chakra, the essence of the chakra that exists right in the solar plexus. The element of this chakra is that of fire, and the color is yellow. I'm trying my best. Yellow is the hardest one to color coordinate because it's not in my color wheelhouse. But as we get up to green, blue, and purple, I got a lot of those. So yellow is the color, yellow like the rays of the sun. And now this is the chakra where we ask ourselves the questions, okay, now that I've figured out my basic needs are met, I've had enough food, water, I've slept enough. Second chakra, I've figured out what my pleasures are, what my desires are. This third chakra is all about your own self-worth, self-determination, your personal power. And this is the chakra that you start to ask yourself, what am I looking to do with this energy? Is it time to sit and think a little bit more, create some more plans, kind of muster on the idea? Or is it time to start to take action and move in a forward moving direction? I've thought about this for long enough, and now it's time to take steps to where I want to move towards. The element, like I said, is that of fire. And fire, out of all of the elements, while they're all so powerful, is the ultimate element of transformation. It immediately transforms something from solid to gas, gas to more gas, water to gas, and it changes all of the states of each of the forms. And so as we do a practice that's really dedicated, we're going to do a lot of twists today, a few arm balances to try to move the low body in one direction and the upper body in the other to feel this band of energy. The question that I'll keep proposing is, where are you looking to move your energy towards? And in the context of a yoga practice, it might be, it's 90 degrees outside. She's asking me to do a twisted arm balance. I might lay down for this one. Or it's 90 degrees outside. I'm feeling jazzed. It's Tuesday. Maybe I try this variation out. Yeah? So choosing the path and the direction that serves your energy the most is where we'll start to take it. So with that being said, let's arrive in a comfortable way to be, in a seat. You might start lying down. You might start with your legs crossed underneath you. But if you are taking a seat, you might see what it feels like to sit up on any gentle propping onto the edge of your blanket or onto the edge of your block, so that your hips naturally fall a little higher than your knees. It'll let your low back lift and lengthen, your hip flexors soften, and you'll be able to stack the deck in your own favor. And as you let your hands rest into your lap or onto your thighs, let your eyes soften so you can listen for your own breath. The breath is that first gateway to the subtle and energetic body. It's a part of you that never is seen, but it is always felt and forever present. So as you take a few moments to simply notice your breath without the need to shift or alter it in any way, can you see the cool air as it comes in through the nose and the warmth of your exhale as you offer the breath out? Let each round of your breath start to dissolve the day and the afternoon that was. Let each breath help you arrive to where you are now. And each subsequent breath creates a little more space for what has yet to come. So as you continue to let your breath naturally begin to deepen, let your next inhale move from your nose down into your belly and up into your chest. And as you exhale, feel the breath move up and out through the crown of your head like the warmth emanating from a flame. Take a few more breaths just on your own, letting each breath move in and down. And every exhale moves up and out. Let's begin our time and our practice together with 3 more rounds of that breath. So as you're ready, you can gather your hands to center anywhere that feels for you, perhaps somewhere on your body, even where this chakra resides, below your breastbone, above your belly button, or let your hands come somewhere onto your chest. But wait for your next inhale as it fills you up completely, and exhale to offer that breath out. 2 more times, just on your own. The bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Notice the difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your own breath. And as you keep a thread of that connection inward, gently let your hands release and start to blink your eyes open. Let's stay seated for a moment longer. Take a few rounds of pranayama. So if your legs are crossed, switch which shin or ankle is on top and come up to a nice tall spine. Now for this breath of fire called Kapalbhati, I'll show it to you for a moment and then we'll take 3 rounds of it together. You'll take a breath in a second and a long breath out through the nose, and then inhale halfway and you'll feel your belly pump towards your spine to sound like this. We'll do that for a few seconds. Take a breath and then revisit it for 2 more rounds. But I invite you to follow your pace. You can slow down, you can pause and catch up when you'd like, but to build that internal heat, go ahead and sit up nice and tall, let your hands rest onto your thighs. Take a long breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. Now with your eyes open or closed, inhale halfway, and with the lips closed, begin. Continue for 10 more seconds at this rate, slower or faster. Feel the belly pump back to let the exhale come out as you let your spine grow tall. Let the shoulders soften for 4, 3, 2, and 1. A slow breath in, sniff in more at the top. And a longer breath out through your nose as you let the crown of your head get taller to the ceiling. 1 more, a breath to fill your belly and up into your chest. And open your mouth to let all of that breath out. Now for the second round, with your eyes open or closed, begin. Inhale halfway and exhale through the nose. Take your time as you begin. Start to pump the belly back towards your spine. Let the spine stay tall. Let the shoulders and the jaw soften. And this breath called Kapalbhati, this breath of fire, it's moving the solar plexus, the belly, towards your spine to build that heat from the inside out. For 10 more seconds, continue at this rate, or slower or faster. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you breathe in, slowly reach your arms up overhead. Sniff in more breath at the top. And stay for your exhale as you reach your arms 1 more inch towards the sky. A big belly breath in on your own. And on your exhale, let your hands come down into your lap. Last round to build that internal heat. Inhale halfway. Exhale all the way out first. Inhale halfway again and begin the last round. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale slow, reach your arms up. Sniff in more breath at the very top. And as you open your mouth to let that breath out, let your hands release down by your sides. Keep that connection to your breath as you come forward to tabletop. Find your way to all fours and have your blocks framing out the front corners and the front sides of your mat. You might use them as we start to move around. But in your table, do let your hands come as wide as your mat. Spread your fingers with your knees under your hips. Curl your toes under to feel the arches of your feet. And now on your own, start to round and arch your spine, linking breath and movement together through a few rounds of cat and cow. Let's go for 5 cycles of breath here, just on your own. Moving in ways that your energy desires to move towards. So you might stay more rounded or arched. You might move more back and forth, but let it be in reverence and an offering to your breath first and foremost. That's Kapalbhati, that breath of fire, also called the skull shining breath. It's thought that as the heat rises within your own body, it illuminates space around the skull and behind the eyes. So as you find your next breath, come back through center, make your way to tabletop. Walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders, keep them as wide as your mat. Bring your knees a few inches behind your hips. And with your toes curled under, take it back to downward facing dog with all of the breaths and all the time you'd like to find your way there. In your down dog, you might pedal your heels one at a time from side to side. You might bend and straighten your knees simultaneously. But as you lift your butt up and back towards the wall behind you, take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out through every fiber of you. At the bottom of your exhale, begin to lift your heels, soften your knees, look forward, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. You might gather those resources and bring your hands to blocks out in front of your feet so the floor can rise to meet you where you are. You might widen your feet an inch or two or soften your knees. But as you bow in towards your own self, take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out through every direction of your being. Now, after a few breaths, climb your hands to your hips, stand through your legs, and a slow inhale brings you all the way up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. With your feet under your hips, your toes pointing straight ahead, wait for the inhale to reach your arms up. Wait for your exhale to fold, bowing in towards yourself. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, hands to your blocks or shins as your heart reaches forward. And on your exhale, fold, plant your palms and step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. You might have your knees lifted. You might lower your knees to the floor behind your hips, but do let those hands come as wide as your mat, take up a little extra room. And now here, feel your tail and reach your tailbone towards your heels. Feel your low belly lift in and up. And now press the floor away from you. Feel your shoulder blades broaden as you slide your ears back to bring your head in line with your chest. 1 more breath in. As you exhale, start to bend your elbows and lower all the way down onto your belly. With your hands as wide as your mat, inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift your chest up. And exhale to take it back to downward facing dog, tabletop, or puppy pose for 3 breaths at your pace. Where are you looking to move your energy towards? This 3rd chakra, Manipura chakra, the color of yellow, the element of fire, asking yourself the question, where is my energy put best towards? So as you take a longer breath in through the nose, let it fill your belly and up into your heart. And a deeper breath out through every direction of you. At the bottom of your exhale, begin to lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands into your forward fold. As you inhale, come up halfway to lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale to fold, Uttanasana, bowing in. Take a breath to rise, stand through your legs, reach up to touch the sky, get a drop taller, and as you exhale, let your hands come down by your sides. Find your block and bring your block in between your thighs to give your legs something to hug into. Now think less high up in the groins, but more to the middle of your thighs. And as your feet fall hip width apart, hug the block together. Now bring your palms to your thighs as you bend your knees and sit back into chair with the block still there. Give the block a hug. Press into your legs to lift your chest away from the earth. And now bring your hands together in front of your heart. Pull your thumbs back to touch your chest. Lift your chest into your thumbs, and for a twist, bring your right elbow to the block in between your legs. As your right elbow taps the block, squeeze your thighs towards each other, and now turn your belly and chest open to the left. Your hips might want to swing with you to the left. Can you lean your butt to the right? Turn your belly to the left, and then slide your ears back so your head is in line with your heart. Take one more breath in. Stay for the exhale and sit 2 inches lower to the earth. Now inhale to come out halfway into your chair. Last one, left elbow to the block in between your thighs. As the left elbow taps the block, think butt to the left, belly to the right, and slide your ears back to lean back as you take a bigger breath in. Stay for the exhale, hug the block, and sit 1 inch lower to the floor. Now inhale to unwind, straighten your legs, reach your arms up as you give the block a squeeze, and exhale to fold in towards yourself. Clear the block from between your thighs, keep your right foot forward, and step your left foot all the way back to find your lunge. Come high up onto your blocks or fingertips on either side of your front foot. And now with your right knee bent, press into your blocks to lift your chest. Keep your left hand on your block or on the floor and bring your right hand to your right hip crease. Wrap your right hip back, shrug your right shoulder up and back, and from your belly, start to twist open to the right. A big breath in here, and as you exhale, you might reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. A full breath in through the nose, and a longer breath out as you bend 1 more inch into your right knee. Now inhale to unwind, lower your hand, look forward, and all the hops you need to bring your left foot to meet your right. Inhale to lengthen halfway, grow long through the spine, lean more into the balls of your feet than into your heels, and exhale to fold in towards yourself. With your left foot forward, step your right foot back to find your lunge. Come high up onto your fingertips or blocks as you wiggle the right toes back another inch. Now lift your chest, take a breath in as you bring your left hand to your hip and tack your left hip to the back of your mat as you shrug your left shoulder up and back to twist to the left. You can stay here the whole time. Maybe your left arm reaches to the sky, but wrap your left hip back, hug the shoulder blades together, and then lean back against yourself. A big breath in. Stay for 1 more exhale and bend into your left knee. Now inhale to unwind, lower your hands, plant them onto the sticky mat, and step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal those heels from side to side. Take a breath to notice any difference you might feel and see. And now with those hands as wide as your mat, give yourself some room. Inhale through to plank pose. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for your inhale to rise, Cobra Bhujangasana. Hug the shoulder blades together. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. A full breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. From your down dog, inhale to lift your right leg up and back. Step your right foot through to find your lunge. And now pivot your hands and feet over to the left to come into your wide-legged forward fold facing the long edge of your mat. Have all 10 toes pointing straight ahead and take a tiny bend in your knees. You might not even see it, but you can feel it. As you inhale, hug your legs and feet towards each other. Feel the inner thighs engage. And as you exhale with the legs straight, start to bend your elbows as you bow in towards yourself. It's this pulsation. Each breath, the legs and feet hug to center. Each exhale, you keep that with the legs straight as you fold and bow in towards yourself. Now let your head stay heavy. Start to turn your right knee and toes through to lunge. Bring your hands to frame out your right foot. On your inhale, come up to rise for high lunge as you reach your arms to the sky. Walk your right foot an inch over to the right. Let those feet be less on a balance beam. And now lift your back heel, knee and thigh high. Stretch up through the fingertips as you bend into your right knee. Bring your right hand to your hip. Grow 1 inch taller through the left fingertips. And for a side bend, begin to tip up and over to the right hand side, over that right leg. Your hand might stay on your hip. Your right hand might grab your left wrist. But as you tip to the right, can you think solar plexus and ribs back? Slide the ears back to lift your chin. And now bend into your front knee. Let it get heavier to the earth. Inhale to come all the way back up. Let your hands tap the floor and take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels. Notice what a difference feels like. And a couple more times together as you inhale, come forward to plank pose. Wait for the exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Drink that breath in, cobra, as you rise and lift the heart. And exhale to make it back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, there's no rush. Lift your left leg up and back. Step your left foot through or around to find your lunge. And as you pivot your hands and feet over to the right, for that wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana on the second side, unlock the knees, especially if they tend to hyperextend. And now without moving your feet, energetically hug your legs towards each other. Feel the inner thighs steady you. Keep that as you begin to bend your elbows and feel the bottom of your heart and your chest bow to the earth. Each inhale, it's like you're feeding the bonfire. Inhale, the legs hug in. As you exhale, your spine and your heart cascade towards the earth. Now with your head heavy, start to turn your left knee and toes to find your lunge. Wait for your inhale as you come up to rise for high lunge on the second side. You might walk your left foot an inch over to the left so your feet are less on that balance beam. But lift your back heel, knee and thigh. Stretch up through the fingertips. Try to look away from the floor as you bend into your front knee. Start with your left hand on your hip. Grow tall through the right fingertips. And for that side bend, tip up and over to the left. Can you breathe into your whole right side waist? And if you did so on side one, your left hand might grab your right wrist, but think ribs back. Slide the ears back to lift your chin as you take a deeper breath in. Stay for the exhale and bend 1 more inch into your front knee. Now inhale to come up through center. Let your hands tap the floor and take it all the way back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, walk your feet to come as wide as your mat. Take a tiny bend in your knees and one hand at a time start to walk your palms back to meet your feet so you fold somewhere at the back of your mat. Let your knees be soft, let your head be heavy. Your hands might touch the floor, you might catch opposite elbows, but take a breath as you bow in with your knees soft. Now after a few breaths, as your hands come up to your hips, stand through your legs, and a slow inhale brings you up to rise. As your hands come down by your sides, the AC is on and has been on. But with that being said, drink water, take breaks at any given point, and really pace yourself. So if you have a strap, you might find your strap and unravel it from its rubber band. Let's get into the shoulders for a bit. And once you find your strap unravel, bring it to the lowest part of your back, somewhere at the low back, your hands about hip width apart. Walk your feet to come as wide as your mat if they're not already, and turn your toes out to face the top corners of your mat. Bend your elbows quite a bit, hug your shoulder blades together, and now stay standing as you reach your arms off of your butt towards the back of the room. When the arms lift, there's always another part that wants to move. So can you, like you did in that breath of fire, slide the solar plexus back, hug the shoulder blades together, and then slide the sides of the throat back as you lift your arms 1 more inch off of your butt. A big breath in. As you exhale, unlock your knees and start to hinge at your hips as you fold and bow in. Sometimes at the last second, when those arms go overhead, the elbows love to lock out. So take a tiny bend in your elbows. You might not see it, but you can feel it. And now as you create some resistance, try to tug your strap apart, hug your shoulder blades together, and maybe reach your arms overhead towards the front of the room as you take 1 more breath in and a deeper breath out. Slowly release your hands to your butt. Stay folded as you ditch your strap off to the side. With your feet as wide as your mat, turn your toes out to face the top corners. And now for Malasana prep pose, you'll bend your knees, sit your hips back, and for this first variation, slide your forearms up onto your thighs. This is going to be a thigh burner, as if it hasn't been already, but we're coming in for a thigh stretch right after. So here, try to keep your heels on the ground the whole time. Guide your knees open towards your pinky toes. And now feel your butt. Send your pubic bone back and your sitting bones down to feel your low belly lift in and up as you lift your chest. Stay right here, or you might slide your elbows to the insides of your knees without losing that connection of your pelvic floor. Pubic bone back, sitting bones down as you lift your chest up. Take 1 more breath in. Stay for the exhale. Maybe reach your arms up overhead as you grow 1 inch taller. And now plant your palms, straighten your legs as you fold and bow in. 1 hand at a time, start to walk your palms back forward to take it to downward facing dog. Adjust the feet so they're hip width apart. And on your next inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand for lizard lunge. Take your time to lower your right knee or your back knee down onto a blanket or onto the floor and come high onto your fingertips or blocks inside of your right foot. With your left hand connected, bring your right palm up to your right thigh. And from your belly, start to turn your chest open to the right. For the thigh stretch, bend your back knee, lift your left toes up off the floor, and reach your right hand around. For the left foot, you might lasso a strap around the foot. You might grab the leg of your pants. But here, as you shrug your right shoulder up and back, hug your left shoulder up and back, can you lean back against yourself? Stay as you are. You might look down and walk your left hand forward of your left shoulder. You might lower onto your left forearm, onto the block or onto the earth. But take another deep breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Think ribs back as you lean back against yourself. Now look to the ground. On an inhale, slowly let go of your back foot. Plant your palms and take it back to tabletop to meet in downward facing dog to check out the other side. Confirmed? Thigh stretch in there? Or thigh experience, if not a stretch? Okay, let's do the other side. Lift your left leg up and back. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand and lower your right knee onto any padding that you'd like. The higher my hands come up onto blocks, the more access I find to grabbing onto the foot, but you might be up on your fingertips. But keep your right hand down and bring your left palm to your left thigh. Start to turn your chest open to the left. Now bend your back knee, lift your right toes up off the floor, and reach your left hand around for the top of your right foot, the leg of your pants, the heel. As you find yourself into this twisted thigh stretch, think solar plexus back, the shoulder blades together, and then slide your ears back so your head is in line with your heart. Stay right where you are, or you might look down and walk your right hand forward of your right shoulder as if you're coming to down dog. You might lower your forearm down onto the floor, but take a deeper breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, lean back and let your chest revolve open to the ceiling. Good. Look to the earth. Slowly let go of your back foot. Plant your palms. Take it back to tabletop. And make your way to downward facing dog as you lift your hips up and back to the wall behind you. Now from your down dog, lift your heels, soften your knees, look forward, and come forward, feet to your hands into your standing forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, grow long through the spine. And exhale to fold, bowing in, Uttanasana. Wait for your breath to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, let your hands come down by your sides. Sip some water, take a breath or two. We're going to come down to the floor. A few ways to come down onto the ground. You can take a seat or something. I saw a yogi post about this a couple months ago, and I use it as my own little self-test to be like, can I still do this? It's can you come from standing to seated without using your hands? So I was telling Kai, my dad comes tomorrow from India, and I'm like, first test is can you see and see where it's going? So this is what it might look like, where when you come to stand, you reach up, your feet might be wide, you lower into that squat, and then come down. If you saw that and you said, also an option. But if you want to try the version of coming from standing to seated, you might reach your arms up overhead, bring your feet as wide as your mat, send your butt back, bend your knees. Your hands might lower whenever you need to as you lower your butt to the ground. Whee! Yes! And now walk your feet out in front of you, heels on the floor, and bring your hands to the backs of your thighs. Hug your shoulder blades together as you lift your chest. Stay right here for this variation of Navasana, boat pose. Or as you lean back, you might lift your toes up off the ground and play with some balance. But try to flex your feet. See if your toes can come in line with your gaze. And now can you press your thighs down into your hands until you feel your hip flexors soften a bit? And then think solar plexus back as you lift your chest up. A big breath in through the nose. And open your mouth to let that breath out. And now lower your feet to the ground, lean your hands back, watch for your props as you windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Sweating. Okay, same yet different. This time, find your block and place your block in between your thighs like we did in that chair pose a long time ago. With your feet on the floor, let your hands catch behind your thighs. And now give that block a hug as you lift your chest up. Lean back to flex your feet. Stay here the whole time. Or if you'd like, as you hug the block, you might lift your toes up off the ground. This time, keep your left hand behind your left thigh. Reach your right arm forward and up. Now bend your right elbow, tap it to the block between your thighs, and turn your chest open to the right or to the left. You might keep your left hand behind your thigh or, oh no, I'm a mime in a box and I cannot get out. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Squeeze the block, lift your toes, lift your chest up, and now come all the way back through center as you lower your heels to the ground. Does mime in a box analogy make sense? Okay, because we're doing it a whole bunch, so I can find another way to say it, but that's the best version I've found. So let's do one more side. Hug the block. Hands behind your thighs, Navasana, lean back to flex your feet. You can do this with your heels on the ground the whole time, or you might lift your heels up and away from the earth. But with your right hand behind your thigh, hug the block, reach your left arm up, bend your left elbow, bring it to the block in between your thighs. Squeeze that block, turn your chest open to the brick wall, and then, oh no, look, another box, I got stuck, I am a mime. Hug the block, lift the toes, lift your chest and breathe. And then inhale to unwind. Finally clear the block from in between your thighs. Lean back and windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Okay, the other part of from standing to come to a squat is lying down to coming up to standing. Okay, so you, again, the whole theme and metaphor of class is you get to decide the energy, where you want to place your energy towards. If you see what I'm about to do next and you say absolutely not, you'll come up to stand, because we'll meet there in a second. But the other maybe fun variation, arms go back. Ta-da! Or, ta-da! Okay, we're coming up to stand. So however you find your way there, if you're coming in that version, reach your arms and legs out long. And now, as you lift your chest, bend your knees, feet on the floor, reach your arms forward to come up to stand. Whee! Good. Simone Biles, she did it. Nice. Okay. As you come to stand at the top of your mat, let's do a little rinse cycle. Breathe in, reach your arms forward and up. As you exhale, fold and bow in. Plant your palms to the top of your mat. Walk your feet all the way back to take it to downward facing dog. And now one last time together, inhale through to plank pose. Exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Take a few extra breaths in your cobra with your hands as wide as your mat. Hug your shoulder blades together and drink that breath in. Now on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, there's no rush. Lift the right leg to the sky. Step your right foot through to find your lunge. A slow breath, the last round on this side. Reach your arms forward and up to the sky. Walk your right foot an inch to the right. As you lift your back heel, knee, and thigh, stretch up through the fingertips and bend one more inch into your front knee. Now hands to your hips. Tiny bend in your back knee. Get springy and all the hops you need to scoop your left thigh to your chest. Stand down through your right leg, grow 1 inch taller through the crown of your head, and now this time lower both feet down onto the ground. Heel toe your feet to come as close as they can come together, and for this toe squat, you'll start to lean forward, bend your knees, and lift your heels up off the ground. So like Malasana, but this time your legs are coming close. So try to squeeze your heels together, squeeze your shins together, squeeze your thighs together. And now walk your right hand all the way off to the right. Reach your left arm forward and up to the ceiling. Now it's these two actions simultaneously. Pull the thighs towards your belly as you hook your left elbow over your right thigh. Squeeze the heels together, the shins, the thighs together as you lift your chest. And then, oh my goodness, the third box the mime has gotten stuck in. Maybe you reach your right arm back behind you. But hug the heels together, lift your chest up, a breath in, and a deeper breath out. And now lower your hands down to the ground, press through your legs to straighten your knees, and heel toe your feet to bring them hip width apart. Plant your palms to the top of your mat, walk your feet to the back of your mat for downward facing dog, and a breath as you arrive. Last side. On your inhale, more than my voice, the left leg lifts, and you step it through to find your lunge. A slow inhale to come up to rise for high lunge, the last round. You might walk your left foot over to the left, but lift your back heel, knee, and thigh. Stretch up through the fingertips, look away from the floor, and bend into your front knee. Now maybe your hands stay overhead or you bring them to your hips, but get springy off the back foot as you scoop your right thigh to your chest. Try to stand through your left leg, grow up and out through the crown of your head. And as you lower both feet to the floor, let your hands come to your hips. Bring your feet as close as they can come together. That last toe squat. Bend your knees, sit your butt back, and bring your fingertips to the floor in front of you. And your heels will lift high up off the floor. But try to hug the heels together, hug the calves, hug the thighs together. And as you walk your left hand off to the left, reach your right arm up to the ceiling. How long can you get through the right side of your waist? And now here, draw your thighs in towards your belly and bend your right elbow to hook it over and across your left knee. Turn your chest to the left, lean back to lift your chin. And then, wow, so many boxes this mime is getting stuck in. You think they would have learned their lesson, but they didn't. Hug the heels together, hug the calves, the shins, and as you lean back against yourself, take another breath in, a deeper breath out. And now lower your hands to the floor. Here's a relatively easy exit. Lower your knees to the ground and sit onto your butt. How'd that go? These things we ask our body to do, you know? Okay, so I know I joked about it in the beginning of class, but now is when it gets serious, but not actually serious. An option for an arm balance. We've done all of the prep work to get here, and in fact, we've done this arm balance in 3 different variations already. The arm balance Parsva Bakasana, twisted crow pose, we did very early on in that twisted chair. We also did in that twisted boat pose, and you also already did it here in this variation. All of those 3 are the arm balances without balancing any weight on your hands. So if you see what I'm offering next and you're saying, you know what, Anisha, my 3rd chakra is saying no, that is not where I want to move my energy towards. And I'm saying this facetiously, but I'm also saying give yourself time to pace yourself and move the direction you want to move towards. You can do the twisted chair, you can do the twisted boat pose, or you can practice doing this again, because often when you do things in repetition, the 2nd and 3rd time things get a little more familiar. Otherwise, the other variation to come into is you'll start in this toe squat again, you'll bend the elbow, and then damn, that 6th box the mime got stuck in. I keep saying the 6th box because I want you to think these poses naturally make us want to crunch forward. I want you to lean back against yourself to find space in and through the chest. And then only if you so desire, you bring your hands onto your mat, lift your heels and your butt, and as your knees tuck into your arm, the more you lean forward, the lighter the legs get. I'm trying to squeeze, 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 and reach the chest forward. And to come out, other side. Yes? Yes, no, maybe so? Shall we try it? Everyone have something they want to work on? If you saw that variation, you said, no, thank you. You can work here, or twisted chair. Or you can also, it's a nice place to be. We're going to lie down there right away. Okay? So if you're coming into that Bakasana pose, I'll talk you through it. If you're moving in any other direction, I'll cut you loose for a few breaths and you'll work at your own pace, and then we'll meet back together. So for that twisted crow, just so that you stay on your mat, everyone turn to face the right side of your mat so that you're facing towards the brick wall side of the room. Come into your toe squat as you bring your heels, your shins, your calves, and thighs together to touch. And now as the legs hug in, walk your left fingertips out in front of you to the front of your mat. Reach your right arm forward and up. Now bend your right elbow as you hook your right elbow over your left knee and thigh and twist to the front of the room. Uh-oh, mime in a box. Lift your chest, lean back, and then only if you so desire, look to the floor. Bring your hands to the floor. Lift your heels, lift your butt, and now reach your chest forward so that as you bend your elbows back, maybe it's a hip, 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 hippity hop of your feet. Maybe one, both, all, none feet lift up. Yes. Yeah, no. The beauty of that pose is that the floor is so close that coming to sit down feels very gratifying. How'd that go? Good. Yay. Questions? One hip might feel very, yes. The face of delight. Yes.
I feel really crunched in that side. Is that wrong? Right?
It's not wrong. That is the nature of the pose. It is a huge twist.
I feel like the muscles that I need to hold me up are
One thing, and so these are just some tips that I've heard from other people or that I've used myself that have been helpful, include, if that's the case, you might bring your feet hip width apart in a block. And here, as you come down, it gives you a little something, another reference point to give your body some more room rather than squeezing your legs together. The other thing that has proved to be helpful, and a question that often comes up when I teach these arm balances, is what's happening with this other elbow, yeah? Where this elbow is obviously connected to this leg, but what's happening with this one? When I first started practicing this pose, I would bend my elbow to the hip. And this is just dependent on like the ratio, the length of your forearm to the hip, so this might not work out for everyone, but you might bring it to the hip, and it acts as another little point of contact for you to lift your feet up until you decide, like one day, or in this lifetime, or in the never lifetime, that you don't need the elbow. But it's the action of hugging your hands towards each other is what we're seeking. Can we do the last side? Great question. I hope it answered it. Okay. Face the left. Last one, and we won't do this ever again until next April, 2027. Okay, face the left. Come into your toe squat, maybe a block between your thighs if you want to play with that. If there's no block, walk your legs to become one pillar of energy. Now walk your right hand to the front of your mat. Reach your left arm to the sky. A big breath in. And as you exhale, hug your thighs together. Hook your left elbow over your front thigh. Twist to the front of the room. Lift your chest. Breathing. That 400th box the mime is stuck in. Nice. And now look to the floor. Bring your hands to the ground. Your knee goes into your left elbow. Maybe your right elbow comes where your right hip was. But go chest so far forward that when you bend your elbows back, maybe it's a tip, 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 tippity, tap, tap, tap of the feet lifting up. Yes! Nice. You're doing it. Yay! It's one of those poses where it's about how far, you know, it's the balance, the scale balance that you play. Like, how do I want to smush my face onto the floor in order for my feet to lift? But there's that one sweet spot where the seesaw balances. And in the moment of recognition, this has happened to me often, where I'm like, I'm in it, and then I'm out. But even that minute of in it is a moment of enlightenment, is a moment of I'm noticing how my body starts to shift in different orientations. Okay, the end. Downward facing dog, the last one of class, and then we'll start to wind our way down. Take a breath in your down dog. We've done a lot of asymmetrical twists, so just see what it feels like to find some symmetry. And with those hands as wide as your mat, take up room. Inhale through to plank. Exhale for the last chaturanga. Take a few deep breaths in your cobra. Hug your shoulder blades together. Think solar plexus back. Shoulder blades together, the sides of your throat back. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog as you lift your hips to the sky. Beautiful. From your down dog, lower both knees onto the floor, come into tabletop. And in a moment, you'll come to lie onto your back with your head to the front of the room, feet to the back of the room, and have within a grabbable distance your therapy balls and one of your blocks. And if you need any of those things, therapy balls, please feel free to lay down, get comfortable, raise a hand, and I can happily bring some over to you. But with your block and therapy ball close, bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor. And as your legs rest into one another, let your hands rest onto maybe your solar plexus, so below your sternum, above your belly button. This is where the center of your personal power resides, that element of fire, and your ability to decide where you want to direct your energy towards. So as you take a breath in to fill your palms up with breath, lengthen the exhale out to let all parts of the back of your body get heavier to the floor. Take another deep breath in from belly to your hands up into the chest. And even open your mouth to let that breath out. Now for a few rounds of breath in supported bridge pose, you'll let your arms come down by your sides. Walk your heels to come close to your hips. And as you wiggle your shoulder blades towards each other, press your feet into the floor, lift your hips just enough to slide that block to its lowest or second lowest height, right underneath your butt. So let the block be less in the bendy part of your lower back, but more supporting the weight of your pelvis and of your hips. And once you find a place where you can feel your butt get heavy, wiggle your shoulder blades towards one another on your upper back. Gently press the back of your head down into the floor. And now your arms might rest on your belly, on your hips. They might rest alongside of you, but find 3 deep breaths at your pace. After the fire burns, there's always embers that remain at the very bottom, glowing, and in fact, warmer than the fire itself, containing the full potency of another fire within them. And it's here, after the fire has burned, but the embers still remain, can you let your breath feed the embers? The cool air comes in through the nose, and the warmth of your own exhale offers itself out in every direction. Now, after a few breaths here on the ground in bridge pose, press through your feet to lift your hips just enough and slide that block out from underneath your butt. Walk your feet to come as wide as your mat, and as you draw your knees in towards your outer hips and your outer ribs, lift your feet up off of the earth. This variation of happy baby, your hands might hold your backs of your thighs, your shins, but as you let your thighs get heavier towards the earth and widen your knees, take a bigger breath in and an even deeper breath out as you let the parts of your body touching the floor get heavier into the ground. And now slowly release the hold of your legs to the earth. This evening, I'll talk you through some therapy ball work in the upper back, but if you'd prefer to set up early for Shavasana and set up for your rest, I really invite you to do so. We'll meet you there momentarily. But if you're interested in those therapy balls in the upper back, you can keep them in their tote or take them out. But as you hold them in your hands, begin to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up off of the floor. And from your upper back, pop the therapy balls in between your shoulder blades onto either side of your spine. Once you find a place that you can breathe in, that you can be curious about, your head might come onto the floor, or you might alleviate some pressure and bring your head up onto a block at its lowest height. But once you find a place you can breathe and be in, let your arms come down by your sides. Let your entire body soften to the floor as you take a big breath in through the nose and open your mouth to let all of that breath out. You doing okay? You want a little help placing them, or you're all right? Yeah, if you lift your head up just a bit, lift up a little more, and now come on down, and I'm going to bring the block. How's that? Take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And now finding 2 more places in the upper back. With your knees bent, feet on the floor, gently press through your feet to roll your body a few inches to the front of the room, bringing the block with you. As you feel the therapy balls come down your back to the middle of the shoulder blades, so slightly lower than before. Let your arms get heavy as you take a big breath in and open your mouth to let that breath out. And now there's an entire universe to visit in stillness. Or you might explore some gentle movement as you reach your arms up towards the ceiling, letting your fingers and palms be soft. Watching for any neighbors around you, perhaps you reach just your right arm to the front of the room overhead. And then as your right arm reaches up to the sky, you reach the left arm overhead. But see if you can move even 5% slower than you are already, and let it be an offering to your breath first and foremost. Deepen each inhale in, and lengthen the entirety of your exhale out. Now, after a few breaths, if your arms are lifted, you can lower them down by your sides. And as you press through your feet, press through your feet. Sorry, the ghost of the computer wants to talk. Press through your feet and roll your body another few inches to the front of the room until those therapy balls come down your back to the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. So still in the upper back, just lower than where we've been before. Take a big breath in and a deeper breath out. And now perhaps you reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And this time you give yourself a hug as if your hands could reach for the therapy balls behind your back. You might lean slowly from side to side or stay still. If you are giving yourself that embrace, you might switch which elbow is on top to notice any difference. But after a few breaths, begin to unwrap your arms if they're wrapped around you. Clear any blocks from underneath you if they're there. And as you stretch one or both of your arms overhead, start to roll over onto your favorite side to curl and coil into yourself. With the least amount of effort required, press into the floor and come up to rise to a seat just for a moment as we set up for Shavasana, your pose of rest. We've done a lot of twisting, we've done a lot of upper back work this evening, so just to give you an option of this very supported heart bench, you might use this to set up in Shavasana, but you might also find any comfortable way to be, but you might find one of your blocks at its lowest height, the other block at its highest height. If you'd like some extra comfort, you might drape your blanket over so there's nothing pokey coming into your back. And then when you come to lay down, you want that lower block to hit right in between your shoulder blades, so not in the curve of your middle or low back, but the middle of the shoulder blades. And then that higher block will support the weight of your head, but with your head facing the front of the room, feet facing the back of the room, head to the front, feet to the back. Make your way all the way down onto the floor in any way, shape, or form. As you set yourself up for rest, see if you can move 50% slower than you are already. As you begin to find a way to drape your entire body onto the earth. And let this be a Shavasana. We're seeking to be held and not stretched by the blocks, but held and supported, where the front, the back, and the right side of your body can do something similar. As you do anything you like with your legs, they might be out long in front of you. You might have your knees bent and knees knocked into each other so the weight of your legs supports the other. Let your eyes soften so you can listen for your own breath itself. With your eyes soft and that breath turned deeply inward, can you allow for each round of your breath to dissolve the entire practice that was? Allow for each breath to help you arrive to where you are now. every round of breath that comes after creates a little more room for what has yet to come. As you let your breath and your awareness begin to travel down into your belly, you might imagine or feel or notice this warm, glowing, yellow, energetic ball. This warm glow of yellow that moves from the belly to the outsides of the waist, to the middle of the back, and wraps all the way back around again. Yellow like the rays of the sun, the ray of life, the ray of consciousness. As you feel this energy move from your belly, down your legs, through your heels, and back up the legs, from your belly up to your chest, out through the fingertips in every direction. This warm glow of yellow radiating in every direction of you, like the warmth of a flame emanating in each direction. As you continue to let each round of your breath, let your entire body get heavier against its support. The heavier your body becomes, the more expansive and the more spacious you might just start to feel. begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out. Take another breath in and down so it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to slowly awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you gently tip your head from one side to the other, heavy against its support. Or being mindful of any props, you might reach your arms away from your legs, or slowly begin to bend your knees as you bring your feet flat onto the floor. But take your time, if you haven't already, to bend both knees, and you can either gently roll over to either side or let your hands catch behind your thighs to curl up off of this bench for your heart. If you're laying on your side, take all the time that you need to press into the floor, to come up to rise to a tall seat facing the front of the room. And as you arrive in your seat, let your eyes soften or close so you can once again remember your breath, a deeper breath that moves in and down, and a longer breath up and out in every direction. Manipura Chakra, this lustrous gem, the color of yellow, the element of fire, that asks us the question, where am I looking to move my energy towards? As we finish our practice and our time together with one more of those breaths, you can draw your hands to center where that feels for you. As you take a deep breath in, to offer all of it out. You might bow your head to your heart or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple but profound gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another for practicing right alongside with you. And I bow to each one of you all. Thank you for choosing to be here and being together. Thank you. Drink water, take care of yourselves and each other. Next week we do the heart. The color is green. We'll do some heart openers. The week after is the throat. We're notoriously, no one has told me to stop doing this, but I've deemed the number 5, the throat chakra, chin stand, Gandha Berundasana, so we try that out. And then 6 is balance, and 7 we move towards headstand and meditation. So that's what's coming. I always like to give the preview. If there's poses that you don't like or chakras that you don't like, you know when to skip them and when to return. But in the meantime, if there's any props or things you used from the studio, if you want to give them a swipe with, you're more than welcome to. And then announcements-wise, 2 things happening in May. 1, let me slowly turn the lights on. 1 is that Three Queens has been offering a whole bunch of classes at the Art Museum Sculpture Garden. Those are starting back up on Saturdays in May. They're free. I think it's either 9 to 10 or 10 to 11. I'll get back to you to confirm. But with coming to the free yoga and the Sculpture Garden, you also get a discount to the Art Museum for the day. So if you want to make a whole Art Museum day of it, you can. And then Monday nights in May, all this is on the calendar and on the internet, but each year I offer this pose breakdown to breakthrough series, where Monday nights for 90 minutes we work through a pair and series of poses. So the first one will be hands inversions and back bends. The next one will be deep hip openers and arm balances. The third is binds, standing poses, and deep twists. And then the fourth one is the whole shebang, and then sometimes we go to John's afterwards for water ice. So that's on Mondays. And then I think that's it for me. Does anyone else have things, announcements, things to do, to go to see that other people might want to know about? They never once have to be related to yoga. My greatest pride and joy of announcements is in the West Philly class that I teach. I think I've told some of you this. We've gotten 12 cats adopted through, like someone's like, I'm fostering a cat. And then someone will be like, I want a cat. And then it just keeps happening in yoga. So those announcements are all open for business. But otherwise, I'll see you soon. Thank you. Oh God, I can't get out.